there on the command line here. Give me a minute. Okay. Set up some stuff. All right, and then we'll just go back to my command line here. Okay. So where were we? Okay, so let's do this. Hard hat console. Hey, voila. So we already have the console and the prompt here. So first of all, what we're gonna do here, let's try to create the contract object. So we already compile the fillet contract, right? So now we're just going to create the contract object on the prompt. You see that? That's Ether's library at work here. So we already have that here. So we don't have to import anything. We call get contract factory. And then we just put in the name of our contract. Hopefully it works. Oh, there we go. Okay, that works. And then we call deploy. So what hard hat is doing here is it's actually running a local version of the Ethereum node as well. So we are currently interacting with our local Ethereum node through hard hat and makes it looks easy. So we call deploy to deploy this compiled fillet contract to the Ethereum node. And then we call await here to wait for the promise to resolve. And then, okay, looks like it works. So now we have this fillet, the contract object for us to play with. Okay, the next step here is to get some accounts that we can play with. So, without accounts, blockchains wouldn't be so interesting. So we're just gonna get some accounts here, name them user 1, user 2, and then we call ethers dot get signers. There I go. Ah, got it. So we have all the users here we can play with. That's great. So let's try to get the balance of some of the users, like owner address. Let's try to get the balance there. Oopsies. Balance, owner balance to number. So 0. So the owner doesn't own any fillet NFTs. Okay. So now, let's see here. So now the next step here is to upload the to NFT.storage. But let's see. Okay. So here, you would have to do something like, oh, wait, there's something in the chat. NFT.storage file. So you import these two guys on the prompt like that. NFT storage. Hopefully, NFT storage already installed on the system here. Okay. Wow. Okay, it's there. That's great. Okay. So what you do normally is this is the NFT.storage JavaScript client library. So what you normally do is you would create the client here, and you would have your token here. So you have to go and sign up with NFT.storage. So if you haven't done so, just do it right now to get the API key or what you call a token. But I don't want to call it token because it'll be confusing because we're doing the token project here. So it's API key, get the API key, and your API key should be here. Yep, here, right? And then you'll get the client right here, and then you just have to call store. I think it's store to upload the image and stuff like that. The image and some name description of your NFT. You can. It doesn't have to be an image. It can also be a 3D object. It can also be a sound clip. Pretty much anything that's binary, you can just upload it to NFT storage. But since we are running out of time, I would actually just yank a URL from somewhere. So when you upload your metadata, your assets, you'll get this hash of your content car, the CID, and you'll also get the URL of your content on the IP address. So let me look that up. Okay. Okay. So I'll just pretend that I've uploaded that already. So it's kind of like an involved process a bit here, but just space here. Okay. Oops, what's that? Whatever. So this is the URL that we would get in return of our upload to NFT.storage. So we'll set that to IPFS URL and then paste it there. There we go. Okay. So your URL should be different from mine, of course. So no URLs are ever the same. And then what are we going to do next? Oh, we should mint our first token. So remind yourself that we have already written the mint2 function here. As you can see here, you call fillet the contract object, you call mint2 function, and you get it. And then you pass the owner address. So now we are actually minting our first NFT to the owner address. And then, of course, we pass in our URL here. Okay, and we await. Okay, looks like it went just fine here. That's great. Okay. So since it's our first NFT, so the ID should be 1. Excuse me. So now let's try to query the balance again of the owner account. Okay. Hopefully it's going to be 1. New owner balance. Okay. New owner balance to number. Yes. So now the owner address already owns a token here, which is just great. We can also call this function owner of, and then pass the token ID here, which is 1, right? And then to see what comes out of there, you can say the first owner address there, and we just get the address of the owner of this NFT, right? And this owner address is equal to the address of the owner, just to want to be sure, and it's true. Okay, and then the last step here, but very important step, is we have to be able to transfer tokens, transfer NFTs to our friends and family, and sell our NFTs to on OpenSea, whatever. We have to be able to transfer NFTs between accounts. So we'll do just that. Transfer, because the owner account owns this token. We're just going to transfer it to user 2. Let's see what happens. Oops. What's going on? Pass missing argument passed to contract. Let's try again here. Delay transfer, user 2 address. Pass to contract count. Oh, okay, I missed this. So transfer needs to grab the token ID. Sorry about that. So the token ID, let's see. There's no way of it knowing which token we're transferring, right? So the token ID is the last argument. So that's 1. Boom. Okay, that looks good. So now the same thing here. We're just going to try to check the balance of the owner. Okay, it's 0. So the first account doesn't own this token anymore. Let's do that for user 2. Okay, so user 2 already has 1 token on her account. So let's prove that. 2 delay owner off. Token ID number 1 here. New owner address. There we go. Owner address. Is it equals to user 2's address? And yes. So now the user 2 already is owning the minted token. So now that's this what we have been doing here. That's kind of like the general life cycle, the process of minting, writing a smart contract for NFTs, writing so of course smart contract, and minting the NFTs, and then transfer the NFTs between the users. So that's basically it. And all you have to do is put all this processes into your front end application using framework like Next.js or whatnot, and then there it goes. You just complete the scene stack here. That's all there is to learn. I mean, tomorrow you can just whip up something very quickly right away just by learning all these stuff. And last but not least, if there's any help you like to get, I'm always on Discord. My username is Pansy Hash 5150, and you can also join our community. There's a bunch of really talented people ready to help you out. Also, if you have any particular NFT.storage question, head over to the NFT.storage Discord. I'm also on Twitter as Pansy Shane. You can also follow NFT.storage and Filecoin for latest updates. And then that's it. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. If there's any questions, I'll be around for quite a bit to answer them, like just right about now. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pan. We have some questions for you before you go.
Yes, of course.
Any questions? Anybody have any questions from the audience? I don't think we have any questions. Okay, no questions. Thank you so much, Pan. Looking forward to seeing you another time.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Next, we have Build with Filecoin, developing dApps with Filecoin 2. Do we have TD here? TD. TD, Build with Filecoin, developing dApps with Filecoin 2. Okay, so let's give today a few minutes. I guess he's not ready. He'll be joining us soon. Thank you. Okay, everyone, we have our next speaker here. His name is Tide, and he's a blockchain developer at Bondo Africa, but he's also been through Consensus Academy and the SUNY Online blockchain specialization. Today we'll be coming to talk about developing decentralized apps with Filecoin 2, connecting with IPFS and Filecoin, and then he'll be sharing some sample projects that you can work with. Today, are you ready? Please come on. Please clap for him as he comes up.
So, hi. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Do you have it now? I need to export it. Okay, so while we wait for the media team to start presenting, today, Ayuade, I stumbled upon Web3 blockchain. So I want to do a quick recap of how I got into this rabbit hole, because for most people, it's usually like that. I mean, you're doing something else, you're like, oh, Bitcoin, blah, 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 and then you come in. Okay, I mean, almost everybody that I met that are doing something in the blockchain stumbled upon it. So I was taking a course, a master course on SUNY Online around 2018, 2017. And there was this doctor, I mean, you can go to Coursera and check out. I mean, anybody that has been doing blockchain development here, I don't know how you started, but you can go to Coursera. The course is like free for anybody. SUNY Online blockchain specialization. I mean, that is where I stumbled upon blockchain. You get, and since then I've been in the rabbit hole. Of course, before then there has been what do you call it? The ICO boom, 2017. You know, everybody trying to, what the heck is this Bitcoin? $20,000. Oh, good. I mean, if I could get one of this, I'll probably be a millionaire in dollars. You know, but of course that didn't happen, and I'm still here. Well, I mean, I think it's still a journey, right? So, why? Okay, so before I continue, I would like to ask the audience, what do you know about IPFS or Filecoin? Can you all hear me? Hello? Do you know anything about Filecoin or IPFS? No, nothing. Okay, great. So IPFS is a decentralized file system for building the next generation of the internet. IPFS, I mean, there's so many windows, there's so many projects built on IPFS. So IPFS is like a decentralized storage system that allows you, I mean, just like your hosting AWS, but now you're using decentralized nodes. Now, so what is Filecoin? Filecoin is a peer-to-peer network that allows anyone to store and retrieve data on the internet. So this is like good. Imagine you being your Google host, you being your AWS. I mean, that's like what Filecoin is. So Filecoin is a place where you are being paid. Once you run a node, you are being paid to host other people's node. How many people have downloaded something on the internet here where you have to like do seedling? Downloaded a game somewhere on one website like that. And I mean, you're not paying for it. I mean, that's like exactly what it is. But in this case, I mean, you are getting paid for it. So, okay, so it has economic built-in incentives. It ensures that your files are stored and are retrieved reliably and continuously for how long you specify. No single company or organization controls Filecoin. Now, let me move on to my next slide. Why IPFS? Why do we need a decentralized storage system? I mean, we already have AWS, we already have Google Cloud, we have Google Host. Why do you need to be paid to allow someone else to host? Today's web is inefficient and expensive. I mean, if you're running a startup, you probably understand what I'm saying. You probably have to pay up to $3,000 to do anything worthwhile. I mean, if you're in Nigeria, I mean, you get the point. I mean, today's web cannot preserve humanity's history. How many of us have had to host a website and maybe you forgot to pay? I mean, in one week or two months, your website is out because of course nobody is hosting it. Today's web is addicted to the backbone. Of course, the backbone of the web is the internet. Today's web is centralized. Of course, limited opportunity. Who are you paying when you have to pay $3,000. Of course, you're paying Amazon. In this case, when someone is hosting on your IPFS or Filecoin node, they are paying you. So let's say company here wants to host on Filecoin, and you already have a node running, just like Bitcoin. I mean, that's not like the old scenario, but I mean, if you already understand the Bitcoin technology, the miners and all of that, you get what I'm trying to talk about. So let me deep down. HTTP downloads from one server at a time, but that's like why, because of today's web is inefficient and expensive. But peer-to-peer IPFS retrieves files from multiple nodes at once. Of course, when you're running an IPFS node, just like when you're running a Bitcoin node, there are so many pairs around the world. You don't have to wait for a centralized server. I mean, you're not waiting for AWS US East 2. I mean, when something is down and then, I mean, there was a couple of months ago, there was an outage somewhere, I think US East 2, and a lot of companies had issues. I mean, that does not happen on IPFS or Filecoin because everybody is running the node. You get. Now, of course, I said the average lifetime of a web page is 100 days before it's gone forever. The medium of our era shouldn't be fragile. IPFS makes it simple to set up a resilient network for mirroring data. And text to content addressing, files stored on IPFS are usually versioned. Just like if you use Git here, you understand version control. I mean, every time you change a little bit of byte in your data, it's rehashed because Filecoin uses content hashing. Now, let's go to the next slide, please. What's the difference between Filecoin and IPFS? Filecoin is decentralized storage. IPFS is decentralized storage. The only difference is, well, of course, there's a technical difference, but at least on a high level, user level perspective, is that while you are using Filecoin, you are getting paid as a user. You're getting paid to run a node and then to host other people's content. Now, so IPFS is the file system. Of course, Filecoin is also built on IPFS. It's been around much longer and can be used independently of Filecoin. Filecoin has a separate crypto asset or crypto token built up on top of IPFS. So when you host a file on IPFS, you get to choose what and what to store. It can be a project. Of course, myself and Enoch have had to store a project on IPFS desktop once. You know, of course, and if I share you the hash, it's still going to be there. But it's just like you're using your Google Drive, right? When you put a picture on Google Drive and you allow anybody with a link, it's going to be there forever, except you're not paying Google Drive, except when you are owning Google and it's not free. You know, so I mean, I'm going to show an example of how to get started with IPFS desktop, how you can put your pictures right here. So Filecoin incentivizes hosters to choose to host strangers' data by providing a means of compensation and decentralized stores. Filecoin does a lot of proofing that data exists and is available as to resolve trust issues for the data owner. I'm going to like share this link. So, I mean, anybody that wants to keep reading can check out the links and, you know, see whatever you could do with it. Now, sample project. I understand that this is, there are a lot of developers here and there's a price about 1,750 Phil, Enoch, to be won. So, I mean, the example project here that was built on Filecoin. So about 3-4 months ago, no, about 5, sometime last year, I was with, doing an hackathon at Earth Global, and there was a project we did, which is Agora Music Streaming. So Agora is like a music streaming platform. I mean, the whole idea was to decentralize streaming. I mean, you have your Spotify, right? And when you have to pay to use Spotify, Agora is saying, okay, you guys come around, put your music content on our platform, and nobody has to pay for it. Only the content creator. I mean, so there's an example here of what we built. The code is on GitHub. You can check out how it's done. I mean, if we have enough time, I can share what we did and the thought process behind it. And there's another project I really saw on GitHub that really made sense. Meme of the day. I know we didn't build that. I mean, so the whole idea is about NFTs, how you can store your NFTs on IPFS. So those are like 2 projects that we can look into if there's enough time to go out. So how do you get started with IPFS or Filecoin? I have some links here. Let me get started. Am I presenting? Okay. 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 Joan Bennett, the founder of Filecoin and IPFS, said something. He said Filecoin is a token with fundamental value. Filecoin is like Bitcoin, but miners amass hard drives instead of hashing computers. I mean, if you understand the Bitcoin technology, you really get what he's trying to say here. You can reach out to me. Of course, I'm still here for the meantime. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, I mean, you can reach out to me. You can follow me on GitHub. Godtide. I stay in Lagos. That's my phone number. Okay. So I think I don't have too much to say. We can go to the development side now. If you are here to write code, I think I'm done with talk. Thank you so much.
All right. I hope you've gotten a lot from Tidy. So we are at the session of the hackathon. The ideation workshop ought to have come up before now, but we're going to the hackathon straight. There are some things I'm going to share with you. This hackathon is overseen by the mentors, Blockverse, some of the speakers there that overseen it. So what we'll do is we're creating the Orbit community GitHub account. So you have your own GitHub account. We want you to, once you've done it, you just push it to the account. You could host your front end in any of the, anywhere you want it to be. So there are some stuff here that he will share with you. Blockverse, are you ready? Okay, come after him. He's going to tell you a little bit. Okay, so we will be achieving the Orbit community GitHub account now. We'll be achieving the Slack account now. And then, Blockverse, over to you. Over to you. Some of us have feel big. And some said they're not. Well, are you set now? Have you completed? Are you completed? You talk about it. We have to cut down on your resources.
Okay, so as regards the hackathon, since I mean, if you're really interested in the hackathon, I think you should be on the WhatsApp group. So try to scan and join the WhatsApp group. So since I already talked about we having like a short time frame to release a product that is going to utilize IPFS and basically IPFS and Filecoin. So what we plan to do now is we want to give out to everybody who is participating in the hackathon. We're going to give out coding resources and bootstrap code. Like, I don't know if you can see there's some GitHub links here, but don't worry, we're still going to share the adequate resources. So to get easy access to it, you have to join the WhatsApp group. The GitHub link will be sent on the WhatsApp group. So from there, you can get starter code for linking to IPFS and for building out your front end very easy. Once those resources are being released, you can basically pick from anyone that is easiest for you to use. And you can also ask questions about how to get started with the code. And someone will be there to explain it for you on the WhatsApp group. And also, yeah, before I forget, a link to the Slack channel will also be sent. So if you're actively going to participate in the hackathon, you have to be on Slack. So there's an Orbit Community Lagos Slack channel. The link will be shared on the WhatsApp group as well. I hope that's right. Yeah, the link will be shared on the WhatsApp group. So just once you're interested, make sure you join the WhatsApp group, and then we'll release about 2 to 3 bootstrap codes that you can use to easily kick off. So what you just need to work on is your smart contracts. You don't need to make so much adjustment to the IPFS script that will be given to you, and then the front end. So if you're working as a team, I suggest you split up the work. Someone works on the your README file, while the rest can take on the front end. And then if you already have a project you have built before that has a working front end, you can use it. You can reuse your code. So just make sure that it utilizes the IPFS decentralized storage. So I don't know if that's clear enough. Please, if you have any questions, just let me know now so that we can get clarity on that. I asked for questions though. So if everything is clear, then I guess we're good. So first thing to do is just join the WhatsApp group, then indicates that you're ready or you're going to participate in the hackathon. All right, so do you still have anything to say? All right, so the code resource will be sent out shortly.
Okay, we'll be bringing this session to a close. Day 2 to a close now. Is there any question? So please remember to write your medium. Remember to send your tweets, tag Ethereum, tag Filecoin. Just be creative about it. Let's see how we could and bring your friends here. Yes, we remember our transport stipend. It will be sent to you. A mail will be sent to you requesting for your account number. Just be patient, but it will be sent to everyone. So bring your friends. Let's just make tomorrow a very special day. Please, let's appreciate our speaker. Thank you, sir, for joining us here. So let's just give glory to God as we bring the service. As we bring the workshop to a close, Father, we thank you for your mercies and your loving kindness. Thank you for all we've done, all you've helped us to achieve today. As we go home, go with us, and as we walk through the hackathon, we are asking for great insights, inspirations, and at the end, take all the glory. In Jesus' name.